Hello friends, I am Dr. Madan Vishwal. I welcome you all to my new session, and today we are going to discuss on a new concept, that is community. In our day-to-day life, we use the word community very frequently. Terms like tribal community, rural community, urban community are used in different academic sessions and environment. So today we are going to basically focus on what is community, the definition of community, basic features of community, and the difference between community and society. So I have already prepared one video on society. So if you have not watched, you may watch that video of society so that you can understand better about the difference between community and society. So first of all, we shall be trying to understand the basic meaning of community. So if you look at the origin of the word community, community has been derived from two Latin words, namely com and munis. So com means together and munis means to serve. So together, the word community refers to serving together. So it means that community is an organization of human beings framed for the purpose of serving together. So by nature, people love to live together. They love to be with one another. And as Aristotle has also talked, that man is a social animal. So in that context, we can refer that community is a group of people who live in a particular geographical location. So a community is a collection of interdependent people with residential ties to a particular locality. Here, the very important thing about a community is the locality, which particularly differentiate community from society. So whenever the term community is used, it is discussed in the context of a particular locality. So it denotes that there is a shared lives of the people over a definite region. That means the people who live in a particular locality, they have a shared lives. There is commonality in terms of their dressing pattern, in terms of their food habits, in terms of their ideologies. So there is commonality in the life of the people of a particular community. So let us look at some of the important definitions given by some social scientists. The definition given by Lundberg says that community is a living population within a limited within a limited geographical area carrying on a common interest. So here again the geographical area has been emphasized, and the people living in a community have a common interest. Many times the people who live in a particular community, they have common interest. There is commonality in their interest. Bagatas has defined community as a social group with some degree of we feeling and living in a given area. Again, here living in a given area refers to a particular territory, which is again emphasized in this particular definition. And most importantly, there should be a sense of we feeling among the people who live in a community. They feel that they are part of the community and they have a sense of belongingness towards the community. They come forward to help one another whenever there is some difficulties within that particular locality. So Sutherland says a community is a local area over which people are using the same languages, conforming to the same mores, feeling more or less the same sentiments, and acting upon the same attitudes. So if we look at this definition, we can conclude that the community refers to a group of people who live in a particular geographical territory and who have similarities in terms of their sentiments, in terms of their attitudes, and in terms of their ideologies, and they work together in their own locality for helping one another. So, community has been defined by different sociologists in different manners, but certain things which are common in community are the sense of we feeling, the commonalities in their attitudes, beliefs, dressing pattern, food habits, and a sense of belongingness. So let us try to understand some of the important characteristics of community. The first one is a group of people. So the first thing that is needed to form a community is a group of people. It is the most fundamental and essential characteristics of community, and this group may be a very small group, or this group of people may be a very large group, because without the group of people we cannot even think of a community. So when a group of people come forward, start living together, share certain common life, and they are binded by a strong sense of community consciousness, then we start calling it as a community. So a group of people is the first prerequisite of a community. Secondly, there is a locality. A definite locality is essential to form a community. So a group of people alone cannot form a community. Rather, a group of people forms a community only when they reside in a definite territory. So most of the communities are settled and they have a strong bond of unity and solidarity among themselves. Thirdly, community sentiment. This community sentiment is very, very essential to form a community, because it is one of the most important characteristics of community. And without community sentiment, there cannot be a community. We can call it simply a group of people uh, who lack the community sentiment. So community sentiment refers to a strong sense of we feeling among the members, or a feeling of being together. They feel that they belong to a particular locality. They feel that they are part of one group, and it refers to a sentiment of common living that exists among the members of a locality, because this common living within an area for a long time makes them connected with one another, and it tries to create a sense of it tries to create a sense of sentiment among the people. So the people emotionally identify themselves with that locality, and this emotional identification of the members distinguishes them from the members of other community. For example, if someone feels that he belongs to a particular community, then he is attached to that community, and he differentiates himself from the other community when he is attached to his own community. The next one is naturality. It is also another important feature of community in the sense that communities are naturally organized. It is not very much planned. People do not come together and start living together in a very planned manner. So we can say that community is a natural outcome of the people living together. It is neither a product of human will nor created by an act of government. So it grows spontaneously and individuals become the member by birth. So we can say that when we are born to a particular community. The next feature of community is similarity. This means the members of a community are similar in a number of ways. As they live within a definite locality, they lead a common life and share common ends or objectives. Among the members, there are similarity in language, culture, customs, traditions, belief systems, etc. So these similarities are in these respects responsible for the development of community sentiment. So the next characteristic is permanence. Community is always a permanent group. So if a group of people come together, stand in a particular area for some time, and then they segregate again, then we cannot call it as a community. Rather, community is always a permanent living of individuals within a definite territory. It is not temporary like that of a crowd or that of a group of people just coming together for some time and dispersing after that. The next feature of community is similarity. So the members of community are similar in a number of ways. Uh, as we talk about they live within a definite locality, they had a common life and share common ends. They have similarity in language, culture, customs, and traditions. There is community has a particular name. Some of the communities have particular name also. The name maybe, for example, we use the term like tribal community, we use the term like, you know, rural community, we use the term like urban communities. So some community have their names, but not necessarily all the communities will have a particular name. And community does not have any legal status. It means it has no rights and duties in the eyes of law, and it is not created by the law of the land. It's a natural outcome of the people coming together. So the size of the community is another feature of the characteristic of community. The size of the community may be a small one or it may be a large one. There is no there is no such specific rules and regulations regarding the size of a community. For example, a village is an example of a small community. So community may be small in size and it may be big in size. Now let us try to understand some of the differences between community and society. In my previous video, I have talked about society, and I hope those who have watched that video, they can relate more with the difference between community and society. The first difference what we find between community and society is in the context of community sentiment. The community sentiment lacks in society. The community sentiment is found more in community. Secondly, in the context of definite locality. So, as we have discussed, society is a web of social relationship. So, there cannot be a locality for society. Rather, community has a definite locality. It has a boundary of itself. Then, in other terms, we can say that community is one of the species of a society. So society is a very broad concept, whereas community is a narrow concept. And society is abstract while community is concrete. Means we cannot touch society, we can feel it, whereas community is a very concrete concept. So friends, today we end up with this lecture. Uh, we discussed what is community, some of the important definitions of community, then the important features of community, and very shortly, very shortly, we try to differentiate community from society. So thank you very much for being connected with me, and I am hopeful you will like this session, and in the next session I shall come with again with a new video. So thank you very much for today. Have a nice day.